Okay, Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. I'm hitting record and it's right at start time. So, want to welcome everyone to the open house presentation to unrv.com. My name's Adam Beebe. I'm a broker here at Latona's and I'm joined, he goes by Chris. Chris, please say hi.
Hello, everyone.
And Chris, thank you for joining us. Everyone listening, a little housekeeping. Well, not everyone. There's people listening to this live. Uh, Everyone listening to this live, there will be a recording of this open house in 24 hours on Latona's. And then everyone hearing the recording, you'll obviously know that. But to all parties listening, we also have a prospectus that can be gotten by requesting to me directly, which I'll give you my contacts at the end. But also on the listing page, you'll see a request prospectus. We do need a signed NDA in order to send you that. But without further ado, let's do a little housekeeping here. To those listening live, if you haven't already dialed into the audio, please do so now. The only way to ask questions is directly to me via the chat functionality in the GoToWebinar software here. I'll ask them verbatim of Chris. Um, we design these in topical order, so it may be something I'm holding your question until we're going to cover that within the normal course of things. Be assured that your questions will all be asked, and we do a last call for questions to be asked at the very end. Um, with that, we have a very aged site which offers maps to, and I won't get in over my pay grade, if you will, or my understanding, but the Roman Empire. I know that there's a variety of different facets of the Roman Empire. Obviously, it was expanding and then contracting. Interesting topic. Revenue is made through the sale of these maps as well as some advertising revenue. I'll let Chris get deeper into that. Has a 5 PRA, a PRA, I should say, of 5. Some very impressive traffic and Alexa rank numbers. Uh, all these details are even more expressly discussed once someone logs into their Latona's account. You'll see the hyperlinks here for a variety of different um, aspects of the site, such as annual revenue. If you click on that, it will give you the trailing 12 months of revenue. This is current through December. Obviously, January is about complete, so I'm sure we'll get those data points from Chris here next week sometime. But it is the last 12 full months of data. Moving forward here, Chris, I'm going to put myself on mute. Why don't you spend a moment? And there is some history, no pun intended, to the site. The reason being is it's an older site. That's a great thing. So, Chris, why don't you tell us about, are you the original owner? Has the site basically always been doing what it's doing now? Just kind of take it from there.
Hello, everyone. Well, the site started, basically the idea started already in 2011 when I was following an online computer game that was in development about the Roman Empire. And there was just a forum at the time, and there were as usual in forums, discussion forums, the same question came over and over again. So I put a little site together for those questions for the game and a little bit for the history. And soon that site had more visitors than the forum of the game. And then I thought, okay, that there is a need for this kind of information. But I must say my technical knowledge was very limited, so I did really like ready-made stuff. And I found another guy on that Roman game site who was a coder who made the whole site, and another guy from America. So we were 3 guys initially, and who was a CFO for a company, so it was perfect because he knew all the text stuff. And yeah, after a couple of weeks, so we decided let's make a limited LLC, and then we started. That was in 2003 officially. At first, it was very slow, so we only invested whatever we made. It was very little, and we had a discussion forum, and soon we got people like authors came one day and asked, "Can you do a review on our site?" So we did that, and then publishing houses came, and so soon we were dealing with Oxford University Press and Cambridge and Yale, and so that was all like doing after work, like as a hobby. And so we knew there's a huge potential for that. Unfortunately, okay, and then we got into the map thing. It was, I think, in 2005, first map, when we decided to make a map. Again, it was a huge collaborative effort by the community. At the time, the forum was very busy. And we made, I think, still today, probably the best Roman Empire poster that you can buy for money. And then in 2006, 2007, it started slowly to fall apart a bit because the coder who did all the technical stuff, he got very sick and then he died, so we were only two left. So it was me who was basically doing all the community work, dealing the marketing, and the other guy who was doing a lot of writing. He had a degree in Roman history as well. And about 2 years ago, my other partner, he said, okay, he's just got promoted to become the vice president for this company, just doesn't have any time anymore. And so in the last 2 years, I was on my own. Now, neither be very good with all, because it was still an American company, neither be very good in all the American company tax issues, whatnot, having no physical presence there, plus not a coder, I ran into a lot of issues that eventually I got very frustrated and sick, and so the site was almost for over a year completely unattended. But still made a little bit of money every month from advertising. And yeah, now I'm at the point where either I give the site to someone who has the technical knowledge or does whatever he wants to do, or just shut it down basically, because I just don't have the coding knowledge to keep the site to get the site to the next level, because it's still like the look and feel is still like 2006 basically, so no flashy things. That would be the short history of the site.
Okay, excellent. And again, as mentioned, I put myself on mute, but excellent job going over the history here. And as Chris, I'm sure you're aware of, and others listening to this archive, the Wayback Machine, you can see, the site has had some presence since 2003. Has the site design and/or functionality changed much in the past, 10, 12 years?
Not at all. If you look back to 2003, it almost looks the same than now. There was a slight design change, but nothing major.
Okay, great. What we're looking at here now, it's apparent the site does run Google Analytics. Doing the past 1 year of monthly breakdowns, what do you attribute that spike? Let's see, June, July, August, September, October.
There was a front page on Reddit.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
That was, I believe, a front page on Reddit.
Oh, very good. Okay. And that it just happened, or how did that happen?
Yeah, everything just happens. And I never did any traffic CEO work, whatsoever. We have, I think, I don't know, at least 20 or 30 Wikipedia links. And so, they just happen. Other people put them there. So.
Excellent. That'd be great if it were to happen again. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it does all the time. And we've got links from all over the world.
Okay, great. And this shows a very good dispersion of traffic. Obviously, most of it's the U.S., but UK, Australia, and Canada round out the top four very desirable countries to get traffic from. Do you do much in Do you do anything, or have you done anything in different languages? Done anything in an attempt to get different countries involved?
No, no, I never, because it's too time consuming, to be honest. You would have to need a translator for all
Sure.
those articles. And well, the funny thing is, most people, the only two languages that would be interesting would be French and German. Well, I am German speaker, native speaker, but 99% of people that are interested in that topic are very good in English, so I didn't
Right.
see the point.
Makes sense. And Chris, if you would, as it relates to the content of it, why don't might as well speak right now. How do you get the content on it? I know there's a couple, well, one in particular, impressive sources, and I think one more coming aboard. Let's address that at least a little bit right now. How do you get content for the site?
Okay, the beginning was all my partner who wrote the history part. As I said, he had a degree in history, and the majority, other than that, we'll say 99.9% is from people, from visitors. I've written maybe 0.1% of the content. The rest was all from people. The thing is, we offer free books to qualified reviewers, book reviewers, and they get the book and they write the review and we put it online. They get their word out and the publisher gets promotion. So we get the book for free from the publisher.
Okay, good. And I
Plus,
wanted to.
very often, those people they're also very knowledgeable and come on their own with articles, topics, etc., and they ask if we can put them online. So, and we never paid for any content, so we always got it for free.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for that. Organic search. I mean, have you done much with social media, or is it just you really haven't done anything as far as getting traffic? And it's
No, just put it on Facebook to have it there. I post very unenthusiastic. It's there. I'm sure you can do much more with it.
okay. Any other ideas as far as how to garner more traffic? I know some of it's time consuming, but just what would you do if you had more time or wanted to spend more time on
Well, if I had more time, then I would definitely intensify the relationship with publishing houses and authors. I do that already, but on a very limited space because it's great. I've got a lot of authors that write reviews for me, and they obviously are very interested that this word goes out. They have their own Twitter account, their own website, plus the publishing houses themselves. So that's a very that I would intensify the relationship between the publishers, authors, and our visitors.
Okay, very good. It has a Facebook account. Does it have a Twitter, Instagram, anything else?
Twitter and Google Plus.
Okay. Let me look here. My GoToMeeting functionality. Well, this is an admin. And correct me if I'm wrong. Chris, in the upper right, do you see admin
Yeah.
on the slide, or what do you see? Or is that analytics?
Analytics.
I'm sorry. My GoToMeeting the software is blocking it, and I don't want to downsize it in hope of it not coming back. What this is obviously saying is there's some not provided, not set, but the majority of the remaining, which is obviously a smaller percentage of it, has to do with old Roman topics, if you will.
Yes, it's very focused.
Do you have other sites that link to this? If let's see, number new sessions time. Okay. All right. Well, I don't think we want to spend too much time on this then. Um, okay. External backlinks. Have you ever done any link exchanges? Have you done much as it relates to um, getting these links, or are these mostly people reaching out to you?
No, I've never asked for a link.
Okay. What will be shown here in a moment, this is just the breakdown, is what type of links they are. Specifically, what we're looking at, and I know there were a few educational ones. some Wikipedia pages, obviously, as it relates to um, Roman Empire topics. Any other links that you think are relevant that you want to talk about?
Well, there are a lot of, I don't, I'm not that good in SEO, but I have a lot of links from university courses, for example, because
Sure.
a lot of teachers, a lot, I mean, if you check it, there are really a lot of high schools, a lot of universities that have like use it for the courses. That's why there are often spikes. That's why also very seasonal. When there's public holiday, there are less people. That's why I have a lot of new visitors because when a new bunch of questions come out, then the teachers give us a reference, the site. So there's a constant influx of new visitors, and I try to retain some of them to stick around, either in the forum or with the newsletter, etc. For example, Cambridge, they have an online course, and I know that they, for example, frequently log on to our site.
Okay. SEMrush, anybody can can go to this. What happened in May and continues to happen? It's remarkably stable there. What happened to the increase right there? What do you attribute that to?
Well, from April on, well, I got back online.
Well, that helps. Okay.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah. Yeah, I was very sick, and so I couldn't do anything. But even before, it was very stable, just on a lower scale. The moment you online a little bit, it picks up immediately. Also, the search engine, the ranking got immediately better the moment I had a few fresh news on the front page.
Okay. Very good. And it's good that it's increased here over the past year and it's stable now. So it's a very positive
Can I
thing.
just a little anecdote of the beginning of the site, because when I bought the domain, I didn't really know what to call the site, but I knew I wanted a very short one, and the first one was UNOV that I found, and then I made the name up around it. And the thing was, I couldn't rank for the first couple of weeks, and then I went into Webmaster World, and back then Google guy was still there, and I asked him, and he actually manually unswitched the thing that the site started to rank.
Now, and I know I looked it up a couple weeks ago. UNRV, that has relevance as it relates to the topic. What does that stand for?
That's in United Nations of Roma Victrix
Right.
that we made up and afterwards. Yeah.
Now, and I'm sorry, that is that something you made up, or is that?
Yeah, that we made up. Yeah.
Okay.
As we made
Well,
out of these letters, we knew we needed R for Roman,
yeah.
and the rest we made up. Yeah.
Huh. I looked and I saw some different articles on it. I didn't look at it too deeply. I just said, "Wow, okay, well, um, yeah, you had me. I thought it was a little more official than you just
Yeah.
creating it."
I
So
just knew I wanted short. That's all I knew.
very good, good stuff. Um, okay, well, keywords that it's ranking well on. Um, and these are things you're not paying for. You're not paying for AdWords. You're not doing any SEO
Nothing.
as it relates to that. So.
What you don't see here is, for example, now not so much, but back in the heydays, 2006, 2009, when I did more of it, I made for testing purpose a lot of language little pages. And till today, I make 90% of my Amazon income via learning language books. They sell at least, I don't know, 50, 60, 100 books a month via Amazon on those keywords.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Interesting enough.
Okay. Okay. Well, you got back online. These are obviously um, your your Google Analytics, your uniques, and we'll see an uptick in May because you said you got back online. A
Yeah.
decrease. What is the massive? Well, this is Reddit. Is this all Reddit or is that?
No. This 7/8? Is this the month? Huh? So 7, the lowest point is in July. Then, yeah, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the school holiday. So isn't
Okay.
it summertime? Is the school holiday, no?
Got it. Okay.
And December is Christmas time. Is also rather quiet. It should pick up. It picks up now again.
Okay. All right. And as one would think, the graph shape is very similar, uniques to page views. Um, really, that's very closely follows in line. So, um, have you done anything, or have you seen being able to do anything where you're able to keep people on the site longer? Or, I mean, it seems pretty consistent.
Yeah, it's well, I started with a newsletter about, I don't know, 4 years ago with Weber.
Mm-hmm.
So there I have a pop-up, and first I was not so happy about that idea, but since I did this pop-up newsletter, I get at least like 2, 3 new newsletter subscribers every day. And I think now close to 2,000 newsletter subscribers. And also in the discussion forum is also a very good place to keep them, entertained.
And how often do you send out the newsletter?
Very infrequent, I would say twice a month. There's no, usually it's when I have a giveaway or some interesting news. It's maybe twice a month maximum.
Okay. All right. Let's see. This looks to be the admin section. So this is where I'll put myself on mute. And Chris, if you would, just when you're done talking about the particular slide we're on, just say next
Yeah.
and I'll advance it.
Okay.
So take it.
Okay, here, this is the interface of the front page. It's a custom-made WordPress. I have to say the rest of the site is not WordPress. This is one of the big issues that I have with the site and at my situation. So the reason why I am in a position now where I think to sell the site is the rest of the site is a manually added pages. So there is no, I can't switch with one click, for example, advertising. That's why there's still no AdSense on, because I have to do every page manually. And one of my big projects that if I don't sell the site is to change that into a custom management system that is all in one piece. And right here is just a simple WordPress where you fill out the front page and that's it. You can go to the next page, Adam, sorry. Yeah, this is the IPS community as interface. It's where basically the forum consists forum. There's a blog, a gallery, and a download section. The download section is where you can download free books that I got from the Gutenberg library. It's legal. The forum is basically the same since 2003, just the newer versions. I'm not that happy about it. It's especially our custom-made skin. It's very work-intensive. Every upgrade, you need to find a programmer. So whoever has the wish to change it to vBulletin or knows what he's doing is probably going to do fine. I struggle because I'm not a coder. Other than that, it's quite a cool software because it's got everything that I always wanted for the site, except the next step would be to have, because this IPS software has also a content management system. I was in the process of transferring this to, but then the coder that I hired never showed up. The constant struggle if you don't have the coding abilities, that you rely on other people, and yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is how you manage the members. We have certain in the forum. There we have certain ranking. If you have high ranking, you have perks like ad-free in the forum. You have access to blog. You have higher messaging storage, access to the gallery, and cool little custom ranks. That's basically it. It's also very, very good for keeping an eye on spamming accounts. So I'm weeding out a lot of them. Now it's a bit better. It was like in 2009 to 2011 was really a bad patch. But right now it's almost everything is controlled by the system. So there are hardly any spamming accounts that you need to delete. We get an average right now, but I would say like 3-4 new members every week. would say 10% of them post regularly. Next. Yeah, this is the MediaNet. This is the alternative to AdSense. When I changed from the American Limited to Austrian Limited, Google, as most of you probably know, is not very good in communicating. They don't really tell you anything. So basically, I was not able to resign as an Austrian company with that account for whatever reason, and they gave me some procedures that I had to follow, and it was just way too long. So I just switched to Yahoo. Ads, I make about 70% of what I did with AdSense. It was good enough for me at the time because I just didn't have the time to deal with those ignorance people from Google. With Yahoo, it seemed everything. I have a special person who I can ask things. It's doing okay. As I said, about 70% that I did with AdSense. The other reason was also because, as I said earlier, the site is all manually made pages, PHP pages. I had to insert every single code by hand because I'm not a coder, so I know only my way to do things. And so that's why I didn't have any interest in changing now again to AdSense. So if the person who takes over the site has a running AdSense account, he can probably make, at least on the spot, probably 30-40% more. Next. Yeah, this is my old 2004 Dreamweaver. This is, you can see on the right, all those sites. When I do a new site, I click on right-click, duplicate, and then I just fill in the blanks that I have to change. So that's how I do the last 5 years my pages. It works. It's not the most sophisticated way, but yeah, that's how it works at the moment. With the content management system, obviously, things are going to be much easier, much more efficient. Next. Yeah, this is again, I had also a bit more better. The code was not for me. I asked a person on Webmaster World at the time who can help me with that, and this guy made a very fast and good code, I believe. So that's basically, I just fill in the text part and the links, and that's about it. Here you can see actually a review from Ian Hughes. Ian Hughes, he's an author of several books. He does a lot of book reviews for me. As one of my many contacts that I have in this business. Next. Yeah, this is the Facebook account. It was an afterthought at the time. Yeah, there are a lot of likes, at least 4,500, but it's something I post a link with a new review. I never done much with it. There's a very enthusiastic community out there, so if someone does something with it, it should pick up very quickly, very fast. Next. Yeah, PayPal. This is basically how I did the maps. Again, the way it works with the maps, someone clicks on the website on the PayPal link, pays for the map. I get here the interface. I go down to the basement, get the map, tube it, go to the post office, and then I put in the information for the customer. So another reasons why I'm not so happy at the moment and want to sell the site is, as I'm based in Austria, in Central Europe, and about, as you can see in the traffic, about 60 to 80, 90% of the clients who buy the maps are in America. The majority of that money is eaten by shipping costs for me. So that's also one of the reasons. So for someone who's based in the States, should do also much better than I do at the moment with that, sending out the maps. Next. Okay, this is a very very important thing if you want to keep the site the way it is, topic-wise. This is a huge contact information list of publishing houses, contact person of the publishing house, the email address, what kind of books we've done, who was the reviewer, etc. Usually, when an author, for example, comes to me and says, okay, he wants to research on a certain topic, and he would like to have the book, I contact the publishing house, and those books, we can talk sometimes $100, $150, and I get them immediately for the reviewer. So this is a very, very important piece of information that I also can give to the buyer. Next. Yeah, revenue is...
I just took myself off unmute. So right, that was the admin section. I'll be much more into it right now. So right, Chris, if you would, obviously a monthly breakdown of revenue. Do you have a feel of what January is going to be yet?
It's gonna be. Where is that? It's gonna be about the same than December, I would say.
Okay. No, I'm sorry about that, Chris. And these are in hundreds of dollars. The peak here in April, and I know you said you were offline. Just curious, is there anything you've done differently here to garner more or less revenue other than time? I mean, why? Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, that's very easy to explain because, as I said, I haven't been online for a long time. There were a lot of map orders, and they weren't fulfilled, and so some of them obviously canceled or asked for refund, PayPal. And when I got back online after my illness, I fulfilled those orders, or I contacted those people, apologized, and also if they want to reorder, they're going to be shipped now, and that's what basically happened there. So there was like a whole bunch of maps that we shipped out. Okay.
I just took myself off mute. The COGS, the cost of goods sold. As far as the shipping, as you mentioned, it obviously cuts into the shipping from where you're at to where the buyers are at.
Yeah. It's the same, for example, with Amazon. I only get paid with Amazon vouchers or with check, so there's no way that I get bank transfer, which really sucks, because checks is like 20% just the cost here in Europe to pay for the check. So if I get $1,000, I pay $200 just for the fees. So it's not really fun,
Okay. Expenses flatline. Hosting. I mean, that's really
the hosting.
Hosting. Okay.
It's the hosting. It's hosting is the email and the email software.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Who do you use for email?
Aweber.
Very good. Very good.
So that should be easy transferable.
Absolutely. We do a lot of, and that's actually how we do our newsletter through Aweber. It's very simple to transfer. Okay, so I want to qualify, and then I'm going to mute myself, and then this is where you spend some time, Chris, just discussing the site, what's required, how many hours. The next slide is actually, and I'll keep myself on mute when you're done talking about these topics. The next questions are, what would you do to improve the site? That's on the next slide, but I'll put myself on mute. I want to qualify, if you would, qualify the answer by telling us. You already said you're not a programmer. Tell us, in 30 seconds or so, what your skill set is, because an hour of your time is going to be worth more than an hour of my time, depending on what it's for. So kind of discuss what, your skill set, and then how many hours a week do you spend on the site?
Yeah, well, I think my biggest strength is I'm a connector. I'm very good in connecting people, and especially here on that side, it was like between visitors and authors and publishing houses, and that was my biggest strength. Unfortunately, my biggest weakness is that in that case that I can't code if you, that's just I can't. Day-to-day work is basically when I got up in the morning before I go to work, I have a look on the email, see if there is a map sold, if there are any questions, if there is any interesting news or for the topic, or if there are anything interesting in the forum, that what I do, or if I get a review. Very often people send me reviews, and then I go to work. Then I come back in the evening, check again the emails, and then talk a little bit with publishers, with authors, and 2 or 3 times a month I put those reviews online. That, and go once in a while to the post office, and that's about it. Okay, that's about it. Yeah.
That's fine. As mentioned, future expectations. If you were to continue to own the site, some of which you've already discussed,
Yeah.
what would you do with the site if you were to have the time and were to continue with it?
Well, first of all, I would find a partner who can code, because there's no way that you can keep on doing this with the way I do right now. If there are any issues, I have to find someone who fix it. So definitely, first of all, someone who I need a partner who can code, and much more into relationship with authors, publishing houses. I've got already some deals, for example, like with one author who would keep on writing our for the history section. He's actually a professor, online professor at Cambridge. In return, that we promote his book on the site, because he's actually a non-fiction writer, but he turns now into fiction as well. So he doesn't really get that much deals, book deals, whatever, promotion from his publisher. So he would do that in exchange here on the site. I'll also get a lot of requests from new authors or self-publishing authors, and there I would put a lot of time and effort into to do this thing, to expand on that, because I know those people really sell our site to other people because they want them to show what they do to keep them successful, make them successful. Site growth, I know our heydays in 2006 we made about $10,000 a month. We were 3 people, so obviously there wasn't that much left, and most of the money we put back into the site at the time for the developing of the map. So if you have the right coder, if you get everything on a content management system where you can put proper ad placement, etc., I think you can use it triple what it's doing now. Easy. Yeah.
And why are you selling?
Yeah, because I'm very frustrated. I have 2 years now of suffering with web hosts that don't know what they're doing, or at least I don't know what they're doing. With coders that don't show up. I used a lot of freelance sites to get things done. They screw you without you knowing that they screw you. I depend on other people way too much right now, so it's very frustrating. I'm good in getting, when everything is done, like in the old days, I just can focus on connecting with the people, getting people to write stuff for us, getting the word out. That right now I'm very frustrated. The other thing is I'm based in Austria, the company's based in Austria, the clients are sitting in the United States. It's very expensive, it's very complicated, it's very inconvenient. So whoever is taking over this in the United States will probably make double what I'm getting now, just for the fact alone that he's in the United States and not in Austria.
Very good. I'm looking here to see if we answered all the questions. Chris, you did a great job being proactive with a lot of them, and most of them I did blend into the flow of the conversation. Really what we're looking at here is an incredibly aged site, which has a lot, PR5 has a lot of good things going for it. That's really under monetized right now, and I think Chris would admit to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not really, maybe not as much through the methods, but just the just given the amount of time or the lack thereof that's being spent on it. So that's understood. Everyone listening, Adam Beebe, that's me. My phone number, US based, is there. That's my cell phone. Please leave a voicemail if you get it. My email, adam@latonas.com. My Skype is adam.latonas. Invite me, I'll accept. And as mentioned at the beginning of the call, if you want a prospectus, please do so requesting on the listing page. We do need a signed NDA. I can send you one to sign. We'll forward that over to you. Chris is upper 10%, upper handful of sellers I've had as far as being very quick to answer questions and also very not only accurate but very detailed. So he's a great seller to be operating with as far as getting quick, accurate answers. Last call for questions. Please have him come in. Chris, you did a great job. Everyone listening, well, people listening live, this recording will be up within 24 hours. Obviously, that's not applicable to the people listening to the recording, but reach out to me directly and let's interact on unrv.com. Chris, thank you.